Boy, just be yourself. If people don't like it if you're being yourself, fuck them.
It's Big Los,
Hollywood Kev,
and welcome to another episode of The Noize. If you haven't yet, go ahead and follow us on the Big Three at The Noize Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And of course, follow everything Beat Network at www.beatnetworkonline.com. I feel like I normally have like more to say.
I was waiting. I was like, okay, he's about to got a couple seconds.
Give him the full the full breath of just announcements and shit.
But I also think that if they've been fucking with us by now, they know.
I think at this point
They know.
it's 2 years in.
Yeah, they know.
I think we're in like the 90s of episodes right now.
Shit.
That's something we really need to keep track of because it's something nice coming for the 100.
Yeah.
Which, of course, we'll talk about.
It'll suck if we on like 99.
Exactly. I'm like, oh shit. Well, next week. Ain't too many like announcements today, unless I'm like missing something completely.
No, I don't think there's too many announcements.
Oh, okay. Well, I rock with that. Works for me. Less breath.
Yeah.
Kev, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Was this our regular how you doing this week question?
Yeah, basically.
Oh.
Come on. 2 years. We just got done talking
You didn't
about the time
say how are you doing this week, so I implied, or I figured you just wanted to know how I was doing.
You want me to specifically say, Kev, how was your week, sir?
That's not what I mean. What I'm saying is that sounded like regular banter. Like, oh, how you doing today? That's what that sounded like.
Do we ever regular banter on here? We go off subject like a motherfucker, but do we ever regularly banter on this show?
I think so. It's our banter, so our banter could be different from other people's.
This is true.
Anyways, as far as my week was chill. I don't know if I don't even think I told you, like I had took up painting.
Wait.
I had took up painting. It's been about 2-3 weeks now.
You absolutely haven't told me. You've seen me 3 times. If it's been 2-3 weeks, you've seen me all of that time.
Right. And I took up painting, so I've been in a lot of the paint, acrylic painting.
Okay.
Oil is a little bit too advanced for me.
You know what? No, I saw you post something about that.
Look, the killer part is that day that I posted that, like right after I did another painting, that blew that one out of the water.
Excuse me, and then you even got on the Cookie Monster Van Gogh.
Well, that's because I like
joints. And you like painting, apparently.
I like cooking.
Were you like, I can't remember his name, but my man's the white dude with the afro?
I fucked with Bob Ross.
Bob Ross,
Yo,
right.
I was just watching.
He was in there making happy mistakes.
All day today, I was watching Bob Ross.
You're like really into painting now.
Well, I do it, honestly. I started because it helped me with my depression.
I've heard that.
You know what I mean? So it helped me, give me something to do. I still got Bob Ross is on a completely different level. Watching him more like he's on a completely different level. Like, but little stuff that's easy that I can do, I do that. But yeah, I was watching Bob Ross all day today.
So wait, so his show's on Netflix, isn't it?
I think he does have a show on Netflix.
Is the show. Is Bob Ross dead?
Yeah, Bob Ross is dead.
Okay, so the show that's on Netflix would be his original show.
Yeah,
just
back in the 80s. Yeah, I watch more so on YouTube. No commercial. Well, I know on Netflix there's really no commercial in it, but I'm on YouTube.
I was about to say there's commercials on Netflix.
because I not only do I watch him, but I watch other people that learn different stuff. So, I watch him. His is a little bit different because he's more of the landscape type. You know what I mean? And landscapes is cool by all means, but sometimes I do want to draw like little shit. That and shit, UFO videos. There's different shit going on in society, bro.
You're in no different bubble right now. Painting UFOs. I mean, you ain't on it.
just I be watching like granted, I got to take a lot of those videos with a grain of salt. Some of them are edited, but you can kind of weed in what's real and what ain't. And I'll be like, all right. That's cool. Back to painting it goes.
And you even dropped what you said that I'm matte. I'm not shiny. I'm not.
Yeah,
this has been a hell of a 3 weeks.
You got a good matte color going on. I almost said flavor. You got a good matte color going on. Like you're not shiny and nothing like that. It's a good matte. You know. Yeah. That was my week for the most part. I really want
to see a 6'4" nigga painting like. I have to see.
Should have told me yesterday. I had paint all on my hands and shit.
Did you at least have like the little apron on and shit?
No, what I do is I just wear clothes that I don't generally wear because I don't get them too much on me. Usually it's on my hands, if anything. But yeah, it was cool. My daughter got into the paint.
Oh, okay.
She got into the silver paint. Well, this is the second time she got into paint.
This got in the paint or got involved?
No, she got in the paint.
Okay.
The first time, my older daughter, she was like, Dad, I don't know what happened. I kept her from over there, but she has like this white stuff around her mouth. I don't know if she tried to eat the paint. The paint's non-toxic, but I don't know if she tried to eat the paint.
Don't incriminate yourself.
I don't know what it was, but she had like white paint on her. But recently she's gotten to the silver paint. I don't know what she did with the silver paint. I don't know how she got into it. I just know she got into it. Luckily, none of my shit was messed up, so I ain't tripping. If you decide you want to be Picasso on yourself, that's on you.
Fuck her, potentially eating it. You ain't fuck up my dove.
It's non-toxic. She'll be all right. She might have it runs, but she'll be all right.
The color runs. She about to be
Yo, silver runs. Yo.
She about to be out here shitting every element of the rainbow. Roy G. Biv and shit. That's for all the other paint fans out there.
Right.
You know
So,
what I mean?
that's been cool. It's been cool. I mean, I don't do it every day or nothing like that, but for the most part, it's cool. I learned different tricks and learn how to do stuff. That's cool. My week's been chill, man.
So when you do paint, then I'm gonna get off the paint, I promise. Like when they say it helps with the depression, have you felt like more relaxed when you do it, or?
Yeah, because I get into this whole mode. Like if I know I'm gonna paint that night, I might throw on some music or something like that, and just it's a real chill type relaxed thing. And it helps. I can't honestly say it has helped. I haven't been as what's the word? I haven't been in so many moods lately. So I just been chilling.
Just paint.
Yeah, really. I mean, it sucks because I'm a perfectionist. So when I do something, I expect it to look like how I seen these people that's been doing it for years do it.
Like when you see the cats with like the jacked up haircut, you know what I'm saying? With a comb over on one side, the other side of the take the fade, and just take the paint, just toss it. You know one of the interviews like, I call it anxiety. And you gotta hit him with the voice too.
I gotta do it with the voice too.
What my man say from Wedding Crashers, it's violent and sexual.
Yeah, so it's been cool. I'm glad I took it up. I can see where people say it's expensive.
Oh hell yeah. I
can see where people say that because even now I'm sitting there like I gotta get this and this, and it's not expensive what I gotta get, but I can see how it adds up. But it's cool. I can honestly say it's cool. It's helped because I haven't really been able to get to the gym and do what I normally do. So it's been cool. It's been cool. Cool. Your week, sir? See how I asked? See that?
I asked how you were doing in general.
But you didn't ask how my week was going.
That includes the week.
You selfish.
How?
Because you didn't ask.
But that includes
I just told
the
you
week.
how. You didn't ask. To you, it included the
you
week.
could have responded like, I'm cool, and then that would have made you the asshole.
No, it would have made you the asshole.
No, you still would have been asshole.
No, because you asked, how was I? And I told you how was I. So I answered your question.
You told me how was I.
Yes. They know what I meant.
Okay, for sure.
You didn't. I answered your question.
Okay.
So unlike you, how was your week, Los? See how I asked that?
My week was cool. My week was busy as all hell.
We were always busy.
Yeah, I'm starting to like really look into it and seeing that I don't necessarily have off days. And this is weird because
What type of establishment you don't have all days?
well, no, I have off days from the
other establishment.
Yeah, exactly.
But not
the clock in, falling in line. I got off days from there, but just in general, like I was off Thursday, and I shit you not, and it was a very stressful time at that because my Wi-Fi went down. But from like 9 a.m. till about 8 p.m.
Okay.
I was working on stuff. And it was all back to the classic. Well, not even back to the classics, just Jay and Dave stuff in general, because we dropped Back to the Classics and then they dropped their review for Mission Impossible, which I really want to see now.
Yeah, I got to catch that because I heard Mission Impossible was dope though.
I heard it was dope. I heard it was, especially from that video.
And it's crazy because I probably watch it when we get done because I did ask Jay like, yo, is a review coming out? Like I was on his bumper about it. So yeah.
But the review is out, so if you haven't checked it out, definitely go look at that. But yeah, started off by putting out their Back to the Classics episode for basketball, and then I was just editing the video. You said what?
I love that movie.
It was just stupid funny.
Out. Yeah, that's what it was. But the idea of the game is actually pretty cool.
It was dope, and he made a solid point. Man was just sitting there drinking a beer, just putting up shots, and was like legit taking them joints down.
Right. Like, you know what? I like basketball, I like baseball.
He said,
fuck it, let's do it.
As long as we don't have to, run, jump, or dribble, we'll be fine. But, now you being the selfish motherfucker.
Why?
Because I was in the middle of my week conversation.
I didn't say fuck your week and just cut it off. All I did was interject.
You brought up basketball. Now that brings up a new conversation.
brought up basketball.
I brought up the movie.
It doesn't matter. You brought it up.
And the potential of it being
keep
real.
talking. Keep going.
Anyway, so where the hell was I at?
See, you had me and you don't even remember where it's that Matt.
It's the Matt
I bet
glove.
you if you were shiny, you'd be on top of things.
You know what? And it makes sense because now I instantly thought about a light bulb. I could be a black light bulb.
Don't they got those?
They do, but I feel like they get used for different shit, so I don't want to be a black light bulb.
No, you don't want to be the green light bulb or the blue light bulb.
Why?
Well, back growing up, the weed heads, if they had the green light bulb like on the porch light, you knew they was chiefing.
I'm kind of okay with being the green light bulb. No, not at all times, but I need to get more light bulbs. Ultimately, what this conversation is leading into. Funny thing though, with you watching Bob Ross and the other amount of shit I just got done talking, I feel like I was on.
So you acknowledge the fact that you were talking shit.
Well, I always talk shit.
Okay,
That's part of the vocabulary.
I just want to make sure.
But at least I can admit to it. You the one denied the Grimy Brown Giant for years, and I can say for years now because we're 2 in. So, but anyway, while you were watching Bob Ross, I was checking out the trailer, and I was looking for it illegally. I'll say that. I was looking for the.
So not only do you talk shit, you look at stuff illegally.
Well, I've said,
and you're the green light bulb. You are something else. I don't even know you no more.
You do. Just go listen to the episodes.
Okay.
You've incorporated yourself in multiple illegal activities I've done. So if I go down,
wait a minute. So you draw snitching now?
Oh, yeah, you the main one, bro.
So you drop, but I didn't snitch.
All right, listen. We're gonna get back focused. All right, we'll get back on task. But I was looking for "Won't You Be My Neighbor," the Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers joint.
Listen, after I saw that, I like watching random YouTube videos, random countdowns and random documentaries, stuff like that. So I started seeing some of the other Mr. Rogers stuff because they put out a lot of Mr. Rogers related videos when they announced that movie, and especially when it came out. Watch.
Oh, it's already out.
Yeah, it's been out.
I thought it was coming out like next year.
No, it's been out. It's been out. I saw a movie review on it too, and even the way Jeremy Johns, shout out Jeremy Johns, the way he talked about it, it made you feel like, huh. Now I didn't really catch Mr. Rogers like that when I was younger.
I did, but didn't. Like it was one of those things. It was on while I was doing homework, but I wasn't paying attention.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't really pay attention to it, but once you become an adult and you recognize those times, it kind of changes, your perspective.
I did see a little thing where he incorporated like some black cop or some black guy on there.
Yeah, it was
to try to.
Yeah, every time they had like a racial issue, he would incorporate the black cop.
Oh, and then I seen that, I guess, the thing where they put acid like in the pool or something like that. He invited a dude to go swimming or some shit.
Yeah, and they put their feet in the pool and he said, you can always swim with me or something like that. It was in direct connection to the acid in the pool situation. But I was just watching little shit like that. And I'm like, this was like genuinely a good dude. And what's so scary about it is that it's 2018.
Yeah, they about to find a way to cancel him. Mr. Rogers about to get canceled.
Mr. Rogers about to get canceled. You're going to find out some little boy grew up. Yeah, Mr. Rogers, he definitely wanted me to be his neighbor. Let me tell you something about how neighborly he was.
Mr. Rogers was in my neighborhood.
Isn't there like a skit or something like that on Family Guy? Doing the same thing. Well, hello, neighbor. He was like spying on somebody.
Herbert?
No, not Herbert. It was like a little
listen,
one of the little skits that they do.
I don't remember that skit, but I tell you this: Herbert is the funniest guy on Family Guy. Like I literally have shed a tear laughing at Herbert.
Yo, have you noticed that they get away with certain stuff that even the Simpsons didn't try to jump on?
Yes, I do notice they do that, but I think it's the times. I think they're doing it now. It's more so on purpose. Like, you expect that. Back the Simpsons is still that taboo. Like, hey, we don't talk about that. So I think it's the time, right? But I do agree with you. They do get away with a lot of stuff where you're like,
how'd they let that slide?
Right. You got a whole child molester in your show, and he's damn near regular.
They have
and he's hilarious.
They have everything on that show. Shit,
yeah.
Pretty sure Quagmire called a charger too on that show.
Yeah, probably so.
Had to. There's no way he didn't. But other than that, looking into that old stuff with Mr. Rogers and trying to relax when I got the opportunity to. I'm not gonna lie, this has been a very busy and stressful 2 months. But one thing I'm happy about is dealing with, the depression side of it. It hasn't been, an issue.
Okay, let's put that to the
know what I
side.
mean?
Let's put that to the side for a minute. What has made these 2 months stressful?
Just busy. Okay. No real time to relax and unwind and,
You need vacation.
dump. Trust me, I truly do. I'm not going to fight you on that. I do.
Gotcha.
But, not having an opportunity to really just relax and just kind of just dump out your thoughts and kind of just be mindless for a little bit. I haven't had much of that time in the last 2 months because it's just been a lot of work. Now, granted, I'm not complaining.
On the grind, right?
Exactly. I'm not complaining whatsoever. I'm getting to the money and I'm trying to make this, the best that we can make it.
Right.
It's just been a lot these last 2 months. And it's a lot more coming with this year. However, I'm setting myself up that when what I'm working on falls in line, I have a break like almost immediately after.
You're learning how to navigate in that space opposed to that first year. Gotcha.
Exactly. Yeah, that first year, fuck that first year. It was entirely too many hiccups and speed bumps with that.
Bro,
but shout out to the ear hustlers for rocking with us throughout that time.
Absolutely.
Though, for real.
Absolutely, bro. But do you know how long it took us to get a first episode out?
You know what's funny? I was having that exact thought earlier today. And I was like, I'm going to bring that shit up, but you've already brought it up. But if y'all have been rocking with us since episode 1, understand that was episode 4.
Yeah. Easy episode 4.
Easily episode 4. And this is the inaugural one mic days.
Yeah.
Where we would have just one condenser mic and sat in the middle of the room and just project it as much as we could. So when we first tried to do it, you would be on the mic and I would be recording into my phone. And then the shit didn't mesh.
Nope.
And then we tried using the lavalier mic. This is before we had the soundboard, the whole nine. We tried using the lavalier mic while you were on the actual condenser mic. And then that didn't work. Then we tried another time and it came out cool. This is when we decided to just record on the one mic. It came out cool, but it was too much extra sound.
It was a lot of echo.
Exactly. It was way too much going on. So it got to the point. I think you even said, you asshole, you were like, hey man, if we can't get it done this time, then
know what's funny? Cause I remember when we was doing that and we would have to wait, like, cause the dryer be going.
Oh, this is when we were recording at mom's crib.
Yeah. We had to wait cause the dryer be going.
Around, you just hear
the garage go up. Bruh.
Oh, you had to tell, we were having to text like truth or legs, like pause.
But I say all that to say cool. It's cool to have those kind of moments where you can get to get where we are now.
Absolutely.
Because it's like, we can laugh at that stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's dope.
Then let me tell you something. It was stressful. I used to every night, I hate this shit. I need a studio. I need somewhere.
Right when he laid down, fuck this shit.
Fuck all of it every day. And then because it was at the crib, you wake up to it every day.
There was no break.
And I'm sorry, it wasn't even the crib because this is when
this is your room.
Exactly. I just got out of college, moved back with moms, trying to get my life right before I moved out. So you wake up and just look at the mic.
It's just there.
And the seat. Or sometimes the fold away table, or whatever the case, whatever we had it on at the time. Shit, there were some times where I'd be sitting on my bed, and you sitting on on the chair. We just sitting there
huddled up like it's snowing outside.
You feel me? Everybody just close having loud conversations, and we got to tone it down in the post. Listen, that's just a little behind the scenes for y'all, just to get y'all to really see where we come from and being able to upgrade to where we are now.
Yeah.
You really can look back on it and laugh.
Yeah, you can. And it's funny because, like, when you hear people telling stories like, I can laugh about this, you're like, I don't see how you laugh. But now I see.
Well, I said, no, that's kind of.
I don't see how you can laugh about that, but now I kind of see how.
No, we can really laugh about? What? Remember how we used to do our interviews with cats from, like, different states and stuff? That was the most stressful shit ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I'm not even going to say no names, but I remember we did. I can't even say that because I don't want to put them out there. One of our early interviews, and I was like, bro, we can't go there no more. We gotta, I tell you off of the.
What, because of the content or how it came out?
No, neither. The environment that we were in, we were doing it.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, well, that was when we started, that's when we got this stuff.
yeah, we got this stuff, which was cool, but I'm talking about the environment is, I mean, granted, we both grew up in the hood, so we expect it, but it's one thing to expect it, one thing to be like, these motherfuckers. Yeah.
They in here and they already.
Yeah, right.
But you know what though?
They had me look, somebody coming through the door?
If they go through our portfolio of episodes, they gonna know who we talking about.
But they can't say we put them out there.
True. But we didn't really say what happened in there.
And then we're going to leave it at that. And we are going to leave it at that because if we indulge any further, we putting them out there.
But funny enough, even though it was tense, at least walking into the situation, neither of us was scared, obviously, but it was like, you don't want to be in a position where like, I feel like I got to watch my back.
Exactly.
10 minutes to the episode, I'm like, oh, we straight.
Yeah, we good.
Everything was solid from there.
Yeah, we good. Yep.
But yeah, so getting back to the other interview stories, when we used to have to plug the aux cord from the laptop
to the phone?
No, not even to the phone. I'm trying to remember. No,
because the headphones.
I had to download a program to like have the audio from Skype or
yeah, we was using Skype. Or Skype had the mesh in between.
Right, exactly. From like Skype or from FaceTime from the MacBook, and we would have to like use this plug-in app, and that took it straight to Adobe Audition, but we couldn't hear them.
We couldn't hear them.
So then we had to call them.
We had to call them on the phone.
And listen, there's nothing more embarrassing than telling somebody, hey, put us on Skype and then call us.
That shit is humbling.
Have one earphone in so we can hear you, and have the other earphone so you can hear us on the other end because we're not gonna be able to hear you.
We're not gonna be able to hear you. But I do got to give a shout out to everybody that we had to do that with because they were all troopers.
They were with it.
They was like, oh, word for sure, let's get it. Like,
so our first guest was Carl Tartan. At that time, he was writing for Mad TV. Shout out to my boy Carl. And then we just see him in the little pre-movie commercial that they have in the theaters.
We did, yeah.
So he was in that. So Carl's still working. I'm happy for that. But Carl was the trooper because remember, Carl called back and did the interview again because that was the episode that we recorded.
We recorded it, but it didn't come out right.
It didn't come out good at all.
At all. So he called back,
He called back and we redid that. And we had to do this. You know what was really embarrassing about that? Because Jay had, oh God, kill me for forgetting her name. But the dark-skinned girl from the original All That cast.
I forget her name, but I know you're talking about.
She was on his show.
Yeah.
And her interview was so bad. Not the interview like content wise, but the audio was super fucked up. We didn't have everything set up correctly. So I had to I'm like, damn, I'm about to tell somebody who's experienced in the industry, like, yo, would you mind calling back and doing that all over again? And she was with it.
Yeah. That's
so dope. Shout out to her for that. I feel so bad for forgetting her name, dog, but
thank you.
Thank you. Either way, if you're listening to the noise, thank you. Man, those were some times.
Those were some times.
So now when y'all hear us reference the one mic days, that's what we're talking about. It was real struggling. But now we got Beat Network Studios and we're making things happen.
We're here.
Much better place. Did you see Bow Wow quit rapping again?
I saw the excuse me, I saw the tweets, but it's a thing now to make fun of him, so I didn't know really what that was. What I did pay attention to was he was like, he giving all his money away. I was like, hey, I can use some of that.
I'm about to say, listen,
I ain't sent my cash up, but I use it, but I can use some of that. But no, I didn't know whether he was serious or.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he was just doing something for attention. I think it's just attention. At this point, Bow Wow is using the fact that people look at him as corny as his way of getting by. It's almost like, low key, it's almost like Nick Cannon.
But do people think Nick Cannon's corny anymore?
No, not anymore. Now
I don't think anymore.
Now he's a genius. You know
he's that dude now.
And even when you look at some of the stuff he does, I'm like, I still see that corniness, but man, you are a rich corny nigga. Like, seriously.
Now, is it corny because it's something you may not do, or is it genuinely corny? The reason I ask that is because it doesn't seem like, when I'm using Nick Cannon as a reference, it doesn't seem like he changed. Like you said, you've seen some of that corny stuff.
He's still the same person.
So
absolutely.
Could you say that's just who he is?
No, that's absolutely who he is. But I mean, corny niggas exist.
True. Very true.
Of course, who am I to talk? Because he's sitting on millions and millions, and I'm sitting in an apartment.
Shit, even after the divorce, he's sitting on M's.
He's sitting on M's. You know what I'm saying? He has multiple businesses, and Wildin' Out is probably the biggest it's ever. No, not probably. Wildin' Out is the biggest it's ever been.
True. And hell, I think they're coming to Vegas next month.
Yeah, they're going on tour with Wildin' Out.
I might want to check that out.
I may have to see that, but we'll get to that. But him as a person, him as Nick Cannon, he still has that corny element to him. And in a sense, it's not even a bad thing because that's his natural personality. Now, what I mean by that, I don't think it's something, it's not necessarily something that, oh, I wouldn't do that, whatever. I've done some cornball shit myself.
Right.
But when you listen to some of the things he talks about, his way of bragging, his way of telling jokes, like he sometimes has some solid punchlines, but other than that, he's like that corny dude that when you got that crew of niggas and everybody's fire at roasting, and then he say something, you just look at him like,
I've been there, not as a corny guy, but I've seen
like,
that.
I was on the opposite end. Yeah, I was talking to him.
I've seen that. So when you say,
and then shit, even look at his albums. Have you ever sat and listened to a New Millennium Nick Cannon album?
The last thing I've heard, he was a gigolo. That was the last thing I've heard from Nick Cannon.
Wow. Now, Grant, I haven't heard anything. Brand, nope. You know what? I'm about to sit here and tell a lie. Just out of pure curiosity, with everything we've been doing with Spotify. Oh, that was the announcement I forgot. The new Spotify list is out.
Yes, check that out.
Don't sleep on them. Go on Spotify.
Don't sleep on
Follow that. Make that a part of your routine.
Check that out.
Solid ass list.
And we can't say next week we about to kill you niggas.
Oh, absolutely. No, 2 weeks. Remember, we're doing bi-weekly.
2
bi-weekly.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Not this coming Tuesday, but the Tuesday
week after that. Yeah, we gonna kill you.
Anyway, one day I was just searching through Spotify, see what they had, and I can't remember what the hell his new album is called.
No, don't lie. You typed in Nick Cannon, didn't you?
Nah, I'm about to explain what happened right now. It popped up on the what was it?
The Nick Cannon page.
Right after I typed it in, hit search. No. I forgot what the hell it was that it popped on. I'm still learning Spotify, to be completely honest with you. But it popped up and it was Nick Cannon getting rubbed down by a bunch of different ethnicity hands.
Oh, I hope these were female hands.
Yes. Okay. I'm pretty sure they're female hands. It's Nick Cannon. I'm like, he's really still making music. Because the last album I remember him making was White People Party Music. So I was like, okay, he has to get given up at this point.
No, he may have found his lane. White people might like it.
Right, exactly. They probably do. I really wouldn't be surprised. They take anything at this
point. Shit, Flo Rida found his lane and ran with it.
Pitbull found his lane. He ain't came back since.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, I'm driving down here.
Pitbull with the braids used to be rapping.
Spitting, bro. Spitting. He's one of Khaled's people.
Yeah,
now it's like, nah, I'm over here.
I got on a suit.
I'm about to go do a show in Sweden. Catch up. You know what I'm saying? But, so anyway, getting back to the story, because then I want to go back to talk shit about Bow Wow. He has that album, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what does he have to rap about? So I'm like, fuck it. And I click. When I tell you, it was the meanest 5 minutes. Nope. No, not even nope. Like, you play, fast forward a little bit. Nope. Fast forward a little bit. Nope.
I've done that. I've definitely done that.
He is so rich and confident that, like, I think he accepts that his music is trash, and yet he still puts it out like anybody's checking for it. Like, does it get any, like, what plaque does Nick Cannon get? He goes like myrrh or frankincense.
What if you don't? Jesus Christ, that's a bad name. What if you don't get a plaque? What if you sell 5? What is it? A million is platinum, right?
Yeah.
What's gold?
I don't know, actually, because the streaming numbers have changed.
Well, yeah, I know that. I'm talking about what we're accustomed to. It was a million platinum, right?
Yeah.
So what if you get 300,000 buys or listens or whatever the case is? You don't have a plaque. Nigga, 300,000 people liked it.
That's a come up. That's absolutely a come up, especially for somebody that people think is trash as an artist. But anything over 60 plays on Nick Cannon is a come up for him. I really don't think anybody's checking for him.
And them 60 is iffy. Them family members.
Exactly. He got a real deep family, you know what I'm saying, tree that really gets into his
family
music.
members are like 4 friends.
They just let it stream overnight on mute. Like, I got you. I got 8 hours of continuous white people party music.
Right.
Can you actually sit up with 8 hours of continuous white people party music?
Again, I've never heard it, so I don't know.
Hell, if you heard white people party music, comment. I want to hear. I want to know what you were
Somebody
doing.
Somebody gonna comment.
Day.
I thought the album was good.
I mean, personally, I thought he had some slappers on it. But,
okay, so Nick Cannon's a cornball.
Yeah.
How? And you feel Bow Wow did this for attention? Me personally, I'm like, dude, you ran 106 in Park. I don't think you need attention, but
yeah, I remember he made the Bow Wow challenge his.
Wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
I mean, if you see people, hell yeah, I make it mine.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's almost his MO now.
Was he a little faded? Is that way? Because this kind of sound like, I don't necessarily know if it's out of character, but it sounds a little bit out of character. For him to go on a rant like that, usually it's not that dark per se. If he does go on a rant, it's either some industry shit or some other shit. It doesn't seem that dark to me.
Well, there's a bunch of different stuff on here, but the last thing he says is, I'm seeing my therapist as soon as I land.
Oh, he was high.
Had to be. Nah, he was either high or using that as a cop-out. You know, a lot of people go directly to, I'm with my therapist, I'm trying to do better.
True, but if I'm looking at the context of where he was, he's in the club, I can only assume, and you're hosting, I can only assume you faded sometime. Maybe he wasn't high, maybe he was drunk, but yeah, I can only assume that you're one of the two.
But the picture that the girl that he's addressing, she tweeted out, once a cheater, always a cheater. He looks like angry nervous. If that's a way to be, because he just has this like scowl on his face.
He nervous. He angry like this bitch keep next, but he don't want to go confront her type thing.
And the girl that's next to him is looking dead at the camera like, the fuck? What happened this day? Like, what was this party?
Either way, he must got some truth to what he's saying though, because multiple people were looking at him like, dude, why are you? So apparently this celebrity or this person ain't never been around no real a decent celebrity.
Right.
Because they got their camera. I mean, I've been around celebrities even beforehand, even when I was doing my club shit, and I ain't never had my phone out like that.
I'm saying, like, we live in Vegas. We see celebrities damn near once a month. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Shit, I work on the strip, so I see him almost like once a week.
Yeah.
Now, what's weird is I don't know, and it's not weird because that's just who I am. I don't feel the need, like you said, to pull out my phone and be like, hey, come take a picture. Nah, for what? I think the last celebrity that I met that actually went out of my way to address and not take a picture, not have a whole ass conversation with or anything like that, I saw Andre 3000. Mm-hmm. He was actually walking in San Francisco past one of the campuses that we had out there. And I saw these two dudes, these two young cats, talking to him. And they're just talking his head off. And I'm looking like, who's this dude in the trench coat? And it's 82 degrees out here. I didn't want to go into it too much. So I'm walking up and I'm like, who are they talking to? I look a little closer and I'm like, oh, snap. That's Andre 3000. Go ahead.
I'm going to say, I think with certain people, everybody's entitled to kind of fan out a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. But I can't even say this. I guess if this is fanning out, then this is the proper way to me to fan out.
Well, that's why I don't mean like fanning out as far as, oh, let me take a picture and stuff like that. But I mean, like, you see somebody that you see, you kind of want to talk to them. Yeah.
Absolutely. So in the middle of the conversation, I just walked up and I said straight up, I said, I just want to shake your hand. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I thank you for everything you've done, with hip hop. He said, appreciate it, man. Andre. I'm like, I want to say I know, but I'm just like, Los. And left it at that. So me and Andre 3000 are friends. If y'all didn't know that officially, he's not going to know who the fuck I am, but just understand it happened. And that's all that matters.
Hey, but still, you fanned out in the right way.
Right.
Because if I seen Rihanna, boy.
Not in the Me Too movement. You better relax.
Boy.
Ain't no way to approach that.
I ain't say I'd touch you.
I'm not even touching shit.
But boy.
You put just enough pep in your step, nigga. You hitting you with that straight, people like that super trooper taser.
Well, I don't want to say it's two people. It's two people like that I can think of. Rihanna and Margaret Robbie. As far as dudes though, I can see myself doing kind of the same things you did though. Like, yo, I ain't trying to take no picture.
Right. I just want to shake his hand.
Yeah.
And to be able to walk away and say I shook Andre 3000's hand, I'm like, yo.
But those two, they gonna have to arrest me.
When I tell you the two dudes were talking this man to death.
That's crazy.
And then I found out because, like I said, when I walked up, said what I said, shook his hand, and then he was saying, something about come through to the show. And I was like, you performing? And I had no clue that Outkast was on like a whole ass tour. And that was when he was wearing that sellout jumpsuit. But yeah. I guess they had a show in San Fran. I'm like, yo, that's what's up. But we were actually talking about this earlier about celebrities being much shorter than they come across on television. He's not the tallest guy.
None of them are.
At all.
None of them are. Unless you're like Jason, is it Jason Momoa? Is that how you say his last name?
Yeah, Jason Momoa.
Him or maybe Chris Hemsworth. Like, unless you're people of those stature, you're little.
Right.
Especially compared to me, like we were talking about earlier, Tom Cruise, 5'4".
But you've heard stories about Tom Cruise being short for years.
True. I'm just using him as an example because I've seen. Was it today or was it yesterday? And I was watching Bob Ross yesterday or today, so it was yesterday. Just seeing a lot of different comparisons. Like, dude, you are tiny. Don't get me wrong. I'm taller than most, but you are little.
Right, you are really small.
You are like using Top Gun, bro. You this little, jumping out of an airplane. Like, you that small.
Who I'm surprised was actually really short. He's not really like a a well-known celebrity, but he's definitely a local one. I didn't know Glenn Lerner was as short as he was.
Oh, really?
The heavy hitter, yeah.
He doesn't look like, he'd be about 6 feet, 6'1".
You know, back when his commercials first came out, he was, got a little stocky, he had some shoulders on him. But when I saw him and it was at a bar, and I'm like, your feet are swinging. That's weird. Like, I didn't know how to, look at that.
I think I had to be 8 the last time my feet swung. Like,
right, your ass probably 4.
The last time you know what's bad? My daughter's feet. I kid you not. I got a nephew, right? That's going to be 4 on the 14th. Mm-hmm. My daughter's taller than him. She'll be 1 next month or 2 next month.
You lying.
I'm dead ass, bro.
I need pictures, bro.
I'm dead. And you see my kid, like, with her hair was done. Like, she's taller than this guy, bro. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, my nephew, he is going to be a smaller guy, but that's 3-year difference. Right. Like, you had 3-year advance to grow.
You had time. You had a head start. You just said, nah, I'm good. I'm going to take my time.
Exactly.
I'm going to walk it.
Yeah.
Your daughter doing full track.
Exactly.
Because, are you 6'4", you 6'3", 6'4"?
6'4".
So you're 6'4".
Probably 6'4.5" after surgery, yeah. I want that half. Fuck you.
Give me my half. No, I ain't gonna lie. That's how I was when I was 5'11".
I want my half.
When it was like 5'11" and so quarters, I was adding on them quarters. Like, if I had to type it in, I'm like, what was the old school shit? Age, sex, location, ASL. That's how tall are you? 5'11" and 3/4.
And 3/4. You
they had emojis. I'd have sent 3 emojis of quarters. Give me my joint.
I want all.
When I finally cracked 6 foot, that was it. I'm like, cool. I'm 6 feet. All good. They were like, you 6 feet? No, I'm 6 feet. That's it.
Wow.
That's all.
Yeah, I think from what the doctor said, I probably grew a half since then. Because they don't have, like, your disc is like, my space was like that. So naturally, yeah.
You was finna shoot up.
Yeah.
So you're 6'4". Your girl is what?
She's 6'1".
She's 6'1"?
Yeah.
Damn, why do I feel so little now?
Yeah, she's 6'1". So my daughter, my youngest is gonna, all my kids are gonna be tall, but my daughter, she's gonna be tall.
She's the one that's going to the league. So you might want to just be ready for
I might tell her, hey, sit your ass down. I might, yeah.
Daddy, shut up. I ain't saying she's going to sound like Lady of Rage. Let me take that back. But she's definitely going to tower over y'all. Like, that's going to take some serious discipline from her first shut up daddy to 45, 46.
Yeah, I'm gonna be disciplining her from a cane in the bed. Like, yeah.
Just throw the cane at her. It works. It's effective. But
you say that like you got experience. You said like you got experience. Somebody threw a cane at you?
No, I was raised by a Guyanese grandmother. I've had everything thrown at me. Yeah. You name it, it's been thrown.
That's why you're mad.
Probably so. But that's why I'm probably like
she
a
beat
lot
the
more.
Black off you.
That's why I'm a lot more calm. And shout out to my cousin Sarita. We used to actually tease her about, well, we don't tease her about it because it sucks. She was like, she would get away with murder. Mm-hmm. Like, I promise you, she would get away with murder. She used to like whoop me and my brother's ass. Damn. I'm telling you, because we couldn't do shit back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You could have to do nothing but just take it.
Just take it.
Take licks and keep going.
Right.
You try to say something about it, like, no, Sarita wouldn't do that. She's a princess. You don't know her. You don't know her. Those
be the worst ones when you,
exactly.
Bruh. My little brother was like that.
I told her the other day, I said, you were Black Angelica. You were easily Black Angelica. I think her and Jay Alonzo were off by a week or 2 weeks, one or the other.
Jay used to get his ass kicked.
Tell you, bro. We used to get tortured by our cousin. Yeah. But love her to death, you know. Completely off subject, but getting back to Bow Wow. Mm-hmm. So my question with him is, when you accept the fact that you're a running joke as far as like the Bow Wow challenge and Bow Wow having all these outbursts and stuff like that and having these Twitter rants and stuff like that, do you expect people to still pay attention to the music? And are people even paying attention to the music?
I think if you're Bow Wow, you can't really expect people to pay attention to music because you made a career out of not making music and doing other than making music.
Right.
So I don't think you can really expect it. As a fan, no. Why would I pay attention to your music if I know you're going to give me your content and I ain't got to do shit?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that's one of the things that was dope about music is you kind of didn't hear people's truth until they put it in music or unless they did some type of random interview. Now, like, it's on their phone. Like, they wake up today and say how they feel. You know what I mean? So as a fan, nah, I don't think you could really look at it and be like, yeah, I want some music from Bow Wow. Nah, you can't.
Yeah, because you get to the point where you're not even a rapper to most people now. When you look at everybody that did like Love and Hip Hop or any of those hip hop reality shows, You wait for this music that they say is dropping, and that never drops.
Never comes out.
What, Cardi B's like the
Cardi B,
one of few success
K
stories.
Michelle, those only two I can
I think
think
Cardi
of.
B and K Michelle, the only two true successes from Love and Hip Hop. Other than that, everyone's like, I got the album coming out. Do you really?
Do you really?
Like, are any of these albums
or like these producers? They always in the studio and nothing ever
with
gets
no
come
producer
out,
credit
except for A1. I ain't heard no Stevie J beats.
Yeah, well, you ain't heard that new Stevie J Faith Evans joint?
No, I'm good.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna pass on that.
I'm passing.
And even when you look at them being on these shows, even if at one point they had the credibility of a tough guy, even that goes out the window because now you got all these stage fights. Like, big up to Scrappy, but I can't take him seriously. I can't look at him as he looked when he first came out. It's just weird.
Right, when he was, you don't want no problems, I was like, shit, I might not want no
problems. I don't think I want a problem.
Right.
Because you look like you're with the smoke.
Right, now it's like, I
may want a problem.
Right.
No, actually, speaking of rappers, I saw this other video line. I'm pretty sure you saw it. It was two French rappers fighting in the airport.
No, I didn't see that.
They were chunking them.
Really?
And I was looking at it and I instantly think about these reality shows. I'm like, and I'll have to explain it to people. I'm like, how many clubs have you been in that you've allowed the fight to go past the loud argument before security was in there breaking it up? 1, 2, being surrounded by people at that. Mm-hmm. You look at these reality shows, there ain't nothing but space and opportunity. So either this club is trash or
that's like when
something set up correctly. But when you look at this video of the two rappers fighting in France, they were chunking them. It was destroying that little store.
No, I got to see this video. I haven't seen this one. But to your point, that's like with the A1 and Safari thing. I seen a little clip of that. Like, I guess Safari was rumored to be with dude's wife or messing around with his wife. So dude approached him like, yo, what's the deal? But you're absolutely right. Like, it wouldn't have been after. What got me was he was like, yo, are you know what I mean? And dude was like, these bitches love me. Right then and there, it would have been on and popping. Like, there's no more talking after that. You know what I mean? So, but to your point, like, you're not waiting around for it to get to a certain to try to do something. You're trying to end it right then and there.
Right.
Especially if you're in a cup, because you know you're about to get thrown out.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, you're trying to at least get one in. At least, yeah.
And you score, of course, when you get back to your crib, I whooped that nigga ass. Like,
right, I whooped his ass. You got one hit in.
Solid one. Not even a good one, just solid enough to be like, I caught him. But again,
I don't know. I hope Bow Wow sees his therapist. And don't get me wrong, I kind of look at social media a little bit different from some people. Some people look at it as, why are you putting it out there? But I look at it as electronic diary.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be.
Exactly. That's how I look at it. So I hope he's getting some type of help, not only for his sake, but to save his celebrity. Not that it needs saving, but nigga, you're a celebrity. You were once the hottest MC out. Like, protect that celebrity a little bit to not go on these tirades. Like, if you need to just say some shit, either go in the booth, nigga, or go grab a pen and paper. Like,
leave it at that.
And leave it at that, because now you got people looking at you like a little bit differently. You know what I mean? And that necessarily doesn't have to be there. If I can't say if Bow Wow would have grew up from what he was and kept going, then we can't really fault him for that. And he started to, because that Out of My System shit was dope. I don't care what nobody say.
It's almost like he starts to creep back in, and then he does something that takes him out of it. Now there is no getting back in for him.
Yeah, at this point, he might as well be an internet celebrity.
Right, as far as a hip hop artist, that's done. But just a general mogul, I can't even call it a mogul, because it's like, what other businesses is he wrapped into? Low key, Nick Cannon's a mogul now.
True, I get you on that point, but we have to also look at it. What other businesses that we know of?
True.
For all we know, Bow Wow could be in some shit that we really don't know nothing about. And you know what I mean? True. So we got to kind of take it a look like, but it's just funny you say that, because the J. Cole interview back like a couple months ago when he was with that Little Pump kid.
Oh yeah.
Or I'm sorry, not that interview. The Angie Martinez interview where he was like, in 100 years, he don't see theirs will be a celebrity. And when he first said it, I was like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? But now I see it. When everybody got these phones, if you got enough followers, you're a celebrity.
Bro, Shiggy is huge off of that challenge.
That's true.
I'm very curious about what it's going to look like 10, 15, 20 years down the line. Because with that exact mindset of everyone's a celebrity now, look at the celebrities that really hit their, stride when we were younger. You look at Bow Wow. Mm-hmm. Like you mentioned, he was one of the biggest artists at one point. Mm-hmm. Now he's kind of just considered the walking example of a joke.
Right.
Look at B2K. everybody wanted B2K the whole nine, and all of a sudden Raz be like, we were fucking each other, and all this other stuff. I think Fizz and Omarion have been on Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah.
And then fourth guy, what is his name?
I don't know.
It's always that one dude. Like, remember how long it took you to realize who Woody from Drew Hill was? Like, Woody, that's his name. So, fourth guy from B2K, he's like probably playing it the smartest by staying out the light. But shit, even look at Drew Hill. Woody was on some weird stuff. The new dude that came on was on some weird stuff.
Is Woody.
That was enough for you. No, you know who really was like a strange case that came up back when we were, dealing with all the young music, I guess you could call it. You remember Houston? He did the I Like That record with Chingy and Nate Dogg. That record was huge.
I remember the name. I can't remember the record in my head, but I know what you're talking about.
You know he gouged his eye out, right?
Oh, that guy.
Yes.
No, I didn't.
No, now, you look at those kind of celebrities. Like they were big for those times. And they all came out of it kind of weird. Shit, even Slickum from Pretty Ricky, he got a damn sex tape.
Wasn't that the one that was on like YouTube dancing, like hella provocative or whatever?
No, that was light skinned dude.
Well, ain't the nigga light skin?
No, I'm talking about the dark skinned one like a roach with the dreads.
Oh, him.
Yeah,
okay,
like he got
Either way, one of them niggas.
He got like a sex tape popping pills.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spectacular. He followed the Noize page. I feel bad for that. Shout out to Spectacular. I forgot about it. But yeah, he the one that had the little challenge or whatever. I say all that to say, with everyone becoming a celebrity now through social media, how do you get to the point where when your star fades away, like what's the next move? Like, have they figured it out? Cause like you don't hear from Spoken Reasons anymore. You haven't heard any crazy shit about them, but you don't, you know what I'm saying? They just kind of just go away. Like, is that like the new move now, or are we going to see some wild Raz B type shit?
I think it's two things. I think it's, what we have to realize is this social media thing is fairly new.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So I think a lot of these people may just be going through a phase. Maybe they'll fade to black and just stop. And then also we have to look at it as the next stage isn't here yet. Like, we don't know what that evolution is going to be. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I do feel what you're saying. Like, what would when you really sit there and think about it, what could be the next stage? But then it's like, I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see.
It'll be very interesting. What was as an adult though, it's crazy now because like you said, we were listening to the younger music back then, like the Houston cat back then. It was a hot track,
right? And
obviously it was a one-hit wonder. Now we can kind of identify. Oh, you're only going to make this song and be out of here soon.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, and I haven't heard her second single. But I feel bad for saying this because the record was big and I want to see all black people make it. That's kind of how I feel about LMA. I feel like Booed Up was way too big for her
that
to not come out
song's so goddamn overrated.
No, I agree.
Unless it's T-Pain version. T-Pain version hard.
No, T-Pain killed it. But we can't deny the fact that the record was huge.
Yeah, it's a huge record.
So I don't see how you follow up on that. I mean, at one point I didn't think Cardi B was going to make it past Bodak Yellow. You know, of course, people, oh, you're a hater, yada, yada. But when records get that big almost overnight, you look like, okay, what's going to follow up? Cardi was a different example because she followed up with tracks that were still able to buzz. Right. They didn't force those records to chart. Right. People enjoyed it enough and those records charted. I don't see how LMA follows up on such a huge record.
I don't think she necessarily has to. I don't think she has to look for a record that's bigger or just as big. I think if she stays consistent, like it may not be as big as some, but it's a good record, then she'll be fine. I think it creates an expectation. You look at that with Drake. The reason I don't think it creates an expectation is because she didn't have one going in.
True. I agree.
Nobody knew who she was. You know what I mean? So I feel like, okay, she was that artist that got that big one. Now if she just stays consistent, she'll be good. Drake, on the other hand, we knew you was a shit before you even started rapping. Nigga, you were a fucking whole actor. Like, come on, dog. So I think his expectation was a little bit different than hers. But I agree with you. Like, I definitely don't see her following up to that. Like, there's nothing you can make that's going to chart that big in this climate.
Don't get me wrong. I want her to. I want her to have longevity. Absolutely. It's just like, here's my prime example with that. SZA. SZA's been dope. No one has noticed though because, well, obviously they know now, but back when she initially came onto the scene, she had records. She had solid features. She just didn't have an album. Top Dog was sitting on that for way too long. So you were already introduced to SZA. And then when she finally dropped a record that was like, actually had some, push behind it, you automatically was hooked. And then she kept giving you a solid record after solid record after solid record. And that's the same route that Cardi took. I think they played too much on Boo'd Up that like I said earlier, it creates an expectation like, okay, we need something like that or better. When you look at Drake, when I initially brought up my Drake example, you look at him, he's mastered the positive side of being a culture vulture. Now to explain that, he sees the trends and he just hops on it. Drake realized that every verse he puts out, there's going to be a quote that's going to come from that's going to control the summer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's realized that. And now that Shiggy made, In My Feelings big, I'm not going to lie, as big as it got, that had to be a marketing ploy out the gate.
Think so?
It could have been accidental because that's how a lot of celebrity comes up nowadays. But for as big as it got, there had to be some kind of marketing behind it.
I can see if there was marketing behind it. The only reason I don't think there was any because it didn't get big up. It didn't get that big necessarily because it was a good song. It got crazy because people was being
Doing the
stupid
challenge.
doing a challenge.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I think
So,
the marketing, came in.
but the reason I say it couldn't came in because you can't plan for that challenge. You can't say, I'm going to make a song, they're going to do a challenge for. You can't plan for that. It has to just kind of happen.
It has to just naturally happen, but you also got to look at who's the maestro behind it, bro. Drake
That's true.
kind of controls the culture.
Drake got that lane. He know how to move. Right.
Everyone was saying started from the bottom.
True.
Everyone, saying like, no
YOLO,
matter what.
everybody was saying YOLO.
Bro, YOLO still exists.
Yeah.
YOLO's in the dictionary now.
Yeah.
Drake controls the culture. So that's one thing you have to give him. He knows what people want to see. He knows what people are going to take and run with. Cause I haven't seen Drake come out with a single that didn't become a quote. They even tried to make, Hold On, We're Coming Home as a quote. Like,
That's
how
true.
do you match that? What do you put that
I will
with?
say Drake would be, it would suck to see because of how important he is to the culture right now, but he would make a great suit.
Oh, absolutely.
He would make he will make a great suit.
He would
have to find the right artist.
Right, but that's
he'd make
what
a
I was
great
about to
suit.
get to. He has a very good ear for talent because even if they weren't signed to OVO, he still knew who to attach himself to.
Right.
If you really look at it, everyone he attached himself to, he gave him a hit. And you look at these artists and you're like, this is very trash, but it's circulating. Why? Because Drake's name on it. When you look at that record from a while ago, the Tuesday record,
Didn't
that song been out.
Right.
Drake got his hands on it, was like, yo, can I put this verse? And it got to the point where they wouldn't even play McConaughey's verse.
Yeah, you thought it was a Drake song.
They would just play Drake's verse and then go to the next record.
Yeah.
So it's like he has an ear for what's going to be a hit. He controls the culture. And really, whenever he wants to put something out, he knows what it's going to do. So that's what takes me back to the Shiggy marketing. I almost sound like shitty marketing, but you take it back to it possibly being a marketing thing. Once something goes viral, once something musically goes viral, that's it. Shit, we can even take it back. Remember Looking Boy?
Yeah.
Bro, that song was everywhere and it came from a video. Jock got a verse. And that was when Jock was buzzing.
True.
It really just comes down to brilliant marketing. And I think Shiggy had enough of a social media following and enough people loved that record. Cause I've actually heard this from a lot of people that they fucked with the In My Feelings record until it became so popular. Enough people fucked with In My Feelings and Shiggy was just popular enough that it was going to just go. And it went. Like now you can't go outside without hearing the record. Somebody pulled up to the job earlier today. As soon as I got out of the car, Kiki, do you love me? I'm like, y'all really listen to that song
so
outside of the challenge.
That shit's so annoying. It's only one song I like off that album. That's it.
It's two, and I can't remember the names of them.
Jaded, and that's it.
Which one was Jaded?
I don't know which one it was, but it
I'm saying,
sounds
like,
cool.
Well, I'm asking which record, what was the hook or whatever.
I think it's on the R&B track, the R&B side. I do know that, and it might be before In My Feelings. It's like track 3, 4, somewhere around there. I don't know. It's the only track I like from the nigga. I don't know.
I haven't gone back to that album. Like I said, I just know I
Me
like
either.
the two records.
But have you noticed that in this climate with so much music is coming out that there's not much replay value in these songs.
True. You know what?
I'm only replaying 3 albums that came out this year.
I agree because when you look at, and we had this conversation earlier, when you look at the good music rollout, don't get me wrong, Push gave us one.
Yeah.
He gave us a solid 7 songs. But you don't really catch yourself going back to Daytona. Even with all the controversy behind the cover, with the diss record, the beef with Drake in general.
Oh, they making fun of him now, but go ahead.
What you mean?
Because Push had to cancel like half his tour.
He did, didn't he? What happened?
From a rumor, which I don't know is 100% true, because it looks like he's just in vacation, ain't trying to leave. But rumor has it he not selling the crowd, so he's like, wow, I'm not doing the show. So they making fun of him like, nigga, wait a minute, you was teasing Drake a minute ago, like do the show. So,
But then again, that's kind of unfair because that was Drake fans just ready for him to catch some kind of it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like you can't really expect Push to be automatically become a mainstream artist like that. Cause granted, he's mainstream, but he's always been an underground.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
So now I would say that there's fault on both parts, that there is Drake fans trying to make him fall off, and then Kanye or whoever's on his tour team trying to make him more than what he actually is.
Yeah, I honestly think whatever strings they got Kanye pulling, he does not need to pull them.
I'd agree.
He just if he just needs to make music, okay, cool. But as far as him being the boss, nah, because he's doing a lot of his people foul. Tiana's a prime example.
No, Tiana, he just dropped the ball on completely. Now you know who he really dropped the ball on? Nas.
He dropped the ball on. But supposedly Nas got a new album coming out, a real album.
Yeah, he's even acknowledged like that just didn't even feel right. And he makes a solid point because when you think about Nas on Kanye beats, you think you can at least get old Kanye. You know what I'm saying?
This is why I feel like Nas shouldn't be pulling the string. Not that he just dropped the ball, because it's if you're my boss, right, and we do something and it just doesn't work out, then I can say you just dropped the ball because we just did something. But if you do something to me, to everybody else on beat, and it doesn't work out for nobody, nigga, you're just bad at your job.
Right, but I said this ain't for you.
Right. So I think with Kanye, like you're like, Tiana was unhappy with her thing. Push really wasn't happy with his album, but it was cool. So Nas was happy. Like, nigga, this is 3 people. You ain't just dropping the ball. You're not good at this job.
This just ain't for you.
Right. That's how I feel about that. But
of course,
to go back to
tell Kanye what Kanye.
Oh, you can't tell Kanye nothing. No, to go back to Push. What was you saying?
Which part? We done got so.
Shit, I forget.
But anyway, just kind of jump into something dealing with Push that we were talking about. Overall, there was an expectation that this is what was going to make Push the superstar. This was going to make Push that. Like the evil to Drake's good or whatever the case is. And you can't expect that out of somebody that raps like he's still in the slums. Like that's not the look anymore. You can't expect that,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Nowadays they want you to be flashy, they want you to be braggadocious. And then when you look
especially
at
for that younger generation. Generation is pushing that engine. So
and even with the younger generation, think about some of the stuff that Push is spitting about. Think about the names he's dropping as far as like designers and fashion accessories, stuff like that. People ain't really like on that. It's like, nah, just be flashy, but that's you too flashy for me. Like he needs to kind of find that. Push needs to find a way to be Jay-Z and Pusha T. I'm not saying he has to stop, with the coke rap, because that's all we really want from Pusha T is that coke rap. But Jay-Z can at least still connect to the younger crowd.
Push got to find a way to like you said, connect to the young crowd, but still be himself.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's not impossible.
Nah.
Because this is the drug user time. So all you got to do is just keep spitting, like keep spitting as Push, but we need more
something
stories.
That resonates with the younger people.
Exactly. Right. We need more stories. Like when you really listen to Pusha T, you don't really get stories. He paints pictures, absolutely, but you don't get stories. You kind of get like a album full of like inside jokes in a sense.
But even if you do get stories, it works for somebody like me and you, but we're not the casual consumer.
True.
We got very specific people we're going to listen to. The 19, 17, 19-year-olds, they don't care. If it sounds good, they listening to it. So,
right.
You got to figure out a way to.
But when you look at it, at this point, hip hop is split between the two. I fuck with this beat and I fuck with how flashy he is on it. So I like this record, even though the lyrics could be trash, whatever the case is. Or I like his storytelling. I like what he's presenting, because Kendrick is still thriving in the industry. Mm-hmm. He's not slowing down. Like, granted, we get an album like every year and a half, 2 years, what it seems like now. However, when he drops an album, everything stops. Like, oh, Kendrick, got to get on that. But it's like Jay-Z.
But I think Kendrick found a way to appeal to the younger crowd by still being himself. Mm-hmm. Like, we still get our lyrical content, but the younger kids still might get something that they can really move to.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
Honestly, it's the same. It's really the same thing with Schoolboy Q. Those are like the two mainstream cats of Top Dog.
Right.
And because we haven't had a Schoolboy project in a while.
We haven't. You put Schoolboy over SZA though?
As far as the rappers?
As far as mainstream artists.
Well,
I guess she's in her own category because she's R&B.
SZA's a little too early. We at least got, I want to say 3 mainstream albums. Blank Face.
I think maybe two some right. Mixtapes or something maybe.
Yeah, the rest of them were tapes. But so we've gotten 2 mainstream albums out of Schoolboy Q, and people are still waiting to see Schoolboy Q.
SZA, like me, yeah.
SZA is still riding the wave of that first album. Now, I don't know if the single she just put out is a new single or if this is some more from the album. I'm not going to lie, I haven't heard it. But she needs a little more time before you can say, okay, she's definitely the one.
Gotcha,
like, she's definitely moving forward.
I understand what you mean.
Because a lot of people wanted it to be Ab Soul, but Ab Soul was way too Lupe.
Yeah.
Like he was like Lupe without a filter, and that's already saying a lot. Mm-hmm. So you knew he was only gonna catch on to that underground crowd. But really, when you look at Top Dog, that's kind of like the perfect balance. You have the superstars, and then you have the underground cats. You have the hood nigga with J-Rock. Cause don't get me wrong, there's a lot of Kendrick influence on the new J-Rock album, but solid album nonetheless. And he did not escape who he was.
Solid album.
You know what's funny? And me and Jay was listening to this coming up to the crib, and damn, we are hella over. But anyway, me and Jay was listening to this coming from the crib, and you look at YG. Honestly, any of the artists that come into the industry and have some form of success, whether it's mainstream or a solid independent following, who stay true to the person that they were before they even came in. Like, I'm convinced that if YG stopped rapping tomorrow, he'll be right back in Compton.
Oh, yeah, he on the block.
Big B's up.
He might be on the block now.
He's probably still on the block right now. You look at, what's my man's name? Freddie Gibbs. I don't know if he was, gang affiliated, but he's definitely from the block.
Right.
If he stopped rapping tomorrow, he's going right back to the block.
Right.
And he was able to have a lot of fun with his new record, Freddie, and that's an amazing album as well.
I haven't heard it yet.
That out.
Yeah,
Gotta check
I'll check that out.
But I like the fact that these artists can come from these kind of neighborhoods and stay true to who they are when it seems like there's so much, resistance from today's hip hop listeners toward that kind of gangster rap music. You know
For people like us, that's perfect because we get to see like representation.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like me and you, yeah, we grew up in the hood, but I'm pretty sure it maybe have crept in our mind like, damn, do I got to change as success comes? So to see that they're themselves, that's great for us.
No, that's great. Absolutely. And it really keeps the door open for people like that to come in.
Yeah.
And just continue to be themselves and don't kind of mold themselves to that industry standard, if you will. And then when you look at it, what is the industry standard?
Commercial success is the industry standard.
Well, that's always been the industry standard, absolutely. But it's almost like there's a certain look you're supposed to have. There's a certain demographic you're supposed to touch, and it's almost like there's a certain subject matter you're supposed to be on nowadays.
I think it varies from person to person, and I think that varies on honestly if they can market sex. If we're being real, Drake and hear me out. Drake is light enough to where, he can put out good stuff. Drake is light enough to where he can kind of resonate with both crowds.
Okay.
That same art, Kendrick cannot resonate with both crowds like Drake can resonate with both crowds.
Very true.
Right? Same thing with SZA. Like you mentioned earlier, you said SZA had been around a while, which is very true. But SZA was also, and this is no shade against her because I still think she's beautiful, but SZA was also overweight at the time. Sex sells.
It's crazy that would even be considered overweight.
It is. Again, she's beautiful, but for the standard that we're talking about, that's really what it is. Name an overweight artist, female overweight artist, whether they're good or not, that's on top right now. And I'll wait.
No, I'd agree. I'd agree.
You know what I mean? I think that's kind of what that standard is. You have to have a look, and from that look, they can kind of see where they're going to place you at.
And we even had this conversation when it came. I can go ahead and close this because obviously we're not touching any of those. That's how we look at it when it comes down to Rhapsody. Mm-hmm. We think Rhapsody should be way more than what she is.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. And we even talked about it on the show before. Fucking up. We even talked about it on the show before that the verse she gave Black Thought, oh my God. Just stupid bars. You know what I'm saying?
I'll go back and listen to that, yeah.
Bro, that's one of the EPs that get a lot of replay.
It does, yeah.
And it's short. Man, hey, shout out to Black Thought. We need to get him on the show.
Right.
But yeah, like you look at Rhapsody, if it wasn't for the fact that she looks how she looks, and she's not even ugly.
She's not.
If the fact that if she looked like Nicki, spitting the way she was spitting now, you know what though? Even thinking about it, if she looked like Nicki spitting how she's spitting now, she probably still wouldn't get over. Because Shauna was sexy as hell. Shauna didn't get over till she started twerking and talking about getting head, which sucks at the same time.
It does.
I mean, and there's no shade to Nicki. I feel like I say it all the time. At one point,
Nicki probably hates you now.
Probably so, you know, because she listens to the Noize.
If we ever get big, she's like, oh, I don't like that nigga.
Nah, you know, she's pretty perfect at hoeing niggas. So I'm gonna get hoes somewhere down the line when the Noize actually gets that really good run and people are really talking about it. Yeah, it's gonna be shots, all kinds of shots taken. But I say it all the time. At one point, I thought Nicki really was next up. Like, yo,
for a while, I think she was.
I mean, I can't even say next up because she's on every album. Everything she puts out is platinum. Everything she puts her hands on is big.
Right.
But I'm talking about lyrically from actual rapping
I agree with you. I think she was at one point.
At one point, I really thought she was about to be, one of the ones. Mm-hmm. Again, Monster is probably my favorite female feature. Correction, my favorite female verse of all time. You know what I mean? Like just all spits. But because she's tying into that sex sales more than being lyrical, that's where all the attention goes to, because no one likes Nicki because she's a fire rapper. They like Nicki because she's a bad bitch. Mm-hmm. There's no other side of any of that, which is why she could put out a random pop record and still buzz all over the place. And she can do all these random things and nobody questions what's going on. Mm-hmm. You take that, if you take that and keep Nicki just spitting, but not even that, we can stick with it. Nicki didn't get over until she got naked and really, had that, sex sell mindset. Cause shit, when she spit over Warning, that was only spoke about with the hip hop niggas.
Right.
They act like them mixtapes don't even exist. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Set that aside for a second. I'm gonna ask you this question.
Sweep that.
I'm gonna ask you this
Put
question.
that over there.
Why Drake got flack for having a ghostwriter? Mm-hmm. Right, to this day he still gets flack, and I think majority of male rappers do get flack if they have a ghostwriter. Why don't women get flack? Because allegedly, when she was what we thought like just Jesus Lyrical Monsters, allegedly Safari was writing her shit.
Right.
Whether that's true or not is beyond us. But if that is the case, you don't hear nothing about it. You know what I mean? Like it's not like on her name it got like a little asterisk like somebody was writing her shit. You know what I mean? Like we do when Drake or anybody else there. Why is that?
I think it goes down to acceptance. And really, when you think about it, no one necessarily cares whether or not Drake writes his stuff. I mean, he got flack from the hip hop community because we're in tune with the hip hop community, but that didn't put a chink in his armor.
Right.
Matter of fact, the people that make Drake rich even said, who cares if he writes his own stuff or not? The song slap.
Yeah.
We're old. Yeah. There it is.
Yeah.
We're old.
Yeah.
I think that's a good place to close.
Yeah, we're old. It's funny because I seen a tweet like last week that was like 18 to 22 was young, 22 to like 25 was and then like our age group was like old, and then 30 plus was like
ancient.
The crap. Yeah, it was something like that. I was in there like only 29. What's the deal? I ain't even 30 yet.
I saw a meme that said, I remember when I thought 25 was an adult. I'm like, real shit. Real shit.
And it's funny you say that because
I'm still saying what I want to do when I grow up.
True. But it's funny you say that. I don't know if it's just me, but do you ever get around older people and you kind of revert back to that kid? Like,
yeah.
Like whatever they say, you know what I mean? Like that's it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I find myself doing that. Like, hell, when we was driving with your mom, nigga, that's the boss. Like
she got it.
Yeah, she's the boss. Whatever she say goes. She say I gotta get out.
Like you right. You're absolutely right. Kev, let the people know where they can find you at, bro.
Well, you can follow my paint channel. No fucking with you. You can find me on Twitter _HollywoodKev, and it's reverse on Instagram HollywoodKev_.
Grimy brown brushes is what we're going to start calling it.
Yo,
Grimy brown brushes.
I think my brushes. No, they're white. The tips are white.
You got to find the ones that
they got some brown brushes.
I'm pretty sure they got some little tan or some kind of brown brush. So Grimy brown brushes. He's getting his own YouTube channel.
I'm gonna use the brush that you draw with, and I'm gonna write Grimy Brown on the handles.
It will be graffiti looking like I painted graffiti now.
So when my YouTube channel opens, you see Grimy Brown.
You would have just stone faced Bob Ross afro.
I can't get no afro right now, man.
Your talents would be fucking happy mistake.
He'd be happy. I thought it was just me watching these videos, right? I thought it was just me until I got to about the 6th, 7th one. Every time, if you watch a Bob Ross video, if you go on Netflix right now, he's going to start with his regular brush, his regular painting, and then he's going to clean it. When he cleans, like he dips it in the water, he cleans it, then he like, whatever the pole is, he like dries it off on there, right? You really listen. Every time he does the little thing where it makes the metallic noise because he giggles. Every fucking time. Like he did it the first couple of times. I was like, okay, whatever. And then like today, I watched like 4 videos today, bro. And every single time he came to the point,
what does his giggle sound like?
He was like, beat the heck out of it. Like every single time, bro. I kid you not. Ear hustlers, if you go to a Bob Ross YouTube video, Netflix, whatever you do, he's going to do that and he's going to giggle. Every time.
That sounds like such a...
And the only reason I'm bringing it up,
pedophile giggle. I don't know why. It just kind of comes off that way.
The only reason I'm bringing it up is because at first, when I first started watching it, like first started painting, I thought, he just did it for that video. Until I got to like the 4th, 5th video, I'm like, yo, he does this every single time. Don't get me wrong, on canvas, this man's a fucking genius. Like some of the stuff he's doing, like when he starts, I'll be like, man, that ain't gonna be shit. And then afterwards, I'm like, yo, it's a damn stream. Like, how did he do that? But every time, I kid you not.
Where was that lake?
Right? How did you do that? So this is what that ink or that paint was. It was a light. Every single time, bro, he cleans his brush off. He giggles. Every time.
I have to look that up now. Big Los IG on IG. Big Los 89 on Snapchat. Of course, at the Noize Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And of course, beatnetworkonline.com for all things Beat Network. Make sure you check out our Don't Sleep on Them list on Spotify.
Yeah, check that out.
And go ahead, just follow the Spotify podcast page, in general.
Every 2 weeks, we'll be hitting you with some good content.
Absolutely.
Good music.
You got to come through and listen in. We got a lot of love on the last one. We're getting a lot of love for this one.
Yeah.
So, as always, we appreciate it, you guys. I guess I should have just closed it out right there.
You could have. You started with as always.
So I'm glad we're going to revert back and act like it didn't happen. As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, we appreciate your support. And as always, it's Big Los.
Hollywood Kev.
It's the Noize.